You see the Bucs with a little trickery attempt, trying to go shovel, and he got past the first layer, but the second layer, the linebackers are there to converge. And a big stop by the Chiefs defense.
So Bidwell comes in to punt it from the 26. Dante Hall at the 11. High wobbly kick. Hall signals for the fair catch, and it's fair caught at the 20. A 41-yard punt. 28-24, Tampa Bay. Now let's go to Greg Gumbel in New York for an NFL update.
All right, Gus, the Oakland Raiders trying to snap that 13-game road losing streak. The Panthers have crept to within 3. Amos Zaraway gets some back. 7 yards and a touchdown. It's now a 10-point Raider lead. 24-14. 9 minutes to play in the fourth, guys.
All right, so Amos Zaraway finding a home in Oakland after spending his entire career with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Injured player on the field, Brian Kelly, and now John Gruden is out there. And like Vermeil, Gruden is another coach that cares an awful lot about his teammate, that Corey Ivy. So there's John Gruden, the golden boy of the NFL. Tell the story about you and Coach Gruden when Coach used to
he wasn't
work
Coach
with the 49ers. What was he back then?
He was Mike Holmgren's gopher back in 1990. In fact, most of the guys on the team didn't even know him. But he was my age, great, sharp kid, loved talking to him. Steve Young and I hung around with him, and he actually was in charge of, this was before computers, personal computers became a big deal. John Gruden was in charge of putting our game plan on a computer, and it was a challenge then. And he didn't know anything about computers, but he wasn't going to tell anybody. So he hired some guy from Microsoft to come in like at 4 in the morning and teach him how to work on the computer. And, you know, he's been a classic ever since, and unfortunately, he left, and we've needed him ever since back there in San Francisco. But, you know, you always hear this stuff all the time about how he's on the road, he's working at 3 in the morning, he's doing this, that, and the other thing. So one of my East Coast trips a couple years ago when he was in Oakland, I called him. 6 a.m. I was on the East Coast. I said, I'm going to see if Gruden's in his office. Darn if he doesn't pick up the phone at 3 a.m.
Wow. First down. Holmes. And Priest gets to the 21, a pickup of 1. Next weekend, the Shark welcomes Mark Calcavecchia, John Daly, Justin Leonard, Mark O'Mara, and many more to the Franklin Templeton Shootout. Beautiful day here in Tampa. Sellout, 65,000 in attendance. One of the great stadiums in the National Football League. And some of the best fans as well, watching the Buccaneers play an awesome football game right now, leading 28-24. 2nd and 9 at the 21. Green over the middle. Gonzalez, the All-Pro, gets to the 26. A 6-yard gain. Gold with the reception. And Brent, as a former tight end, you must really appreciate what Tony Gonzalez has been able to do at that position.
Oh, certainly, and had a chance to watch him in the Bay Area at the University of California and watch him play basketball as well. And you see those catches, and just a phenomenal job. He's actually been working on his blocking as well. Priest Holmes told us, hey, he's discovered this new thing called blocking. But no, Tony is the best in the league right now.
Ball caught. What a catch. Here we go again. Horn. And he gets to the 40. First down. Chris Horn on a little slant. He goes 30 yards.
And what a weird reaction. It's looked like the Tampa Bay defense was just jogging off after Chris Horn. I didn't think he caught the ball initially. Watch the reaction. Everybody just kind of standing around, and then, oh my gosh, he got the ball. Turn it on. And you see Chris Horn use his body to shield it from the defender, and then he keeps going.
First catch of the day for Horn. First down and 10 at the 43. Priest Holmes with running room. Oh, he's tripped up and gets down at the 30. Jermaine Phillips sent him airborne after a 13-yard pickup.
And Gus, everybody's always talking about head coach or offensive line coach Mike Solari's offensive lineman, but watch Jason Dunn, the tight end, and he is just doing a spectacular job. And like we said, one of the top blocking tight ends in the league.
Dunn is number 89. Couldn't see him on that play. Holmes, such a tough man. 16 carries, 59 yards, and a touchdown. Larry Johnson replaces him. Play action, Green looking. Green up top, Gonzalez got it, but he may have pushed off.
Yeah, you know what, you guys, and I think you're right. I actually thought there was some contact, but it looked like Tony was initiating the contact. Be interesting to see which way this one goes. Good call, partner. You saw that. You're all over it. In fact, Trent Green was staring down Tony Gonzalez the whole way. He was going to throw it. Let his big tight end go up and make a play. Now, the question is, did contact happen initially before Tony pushed off?
Illegal contact. Defense number 20.
Wow.
Penalties declined. The play results in a first down.
That's Rondé Barber.
Yeah, and I don't think Rondé Barber thinks that's the way it should have gone. Let's watch Tony Gonzalez right down here, one-on-one against Rondé Barber. He's going to take him inside, go back out, and you see he's actually pushing right there. Gosh, I don't know. You know I'm always in favor of the offensive guy and the tight end. And here's the grab. You got to give Trent Green credit, stayed with his big tight end. Anytime one player's covering him, he said, hey, I'm going to throw it up to the big guy.
So a timeout called by the Chiefs with 3:41 to play in the third quarter. 28-24. Tony Gonzalez having a huge game. His 12th 100-yard game. 9 catches, 123 yards today, and a touchdown, and that is his 12th 100-yard game of his career. So the Chiefs, for them, this is such an important game to improve to 500, because following this game, they're at New Orleans, home to take on New England, and then San Diego, Oakland, and Tennessee.
Yeah, and you know what, the Chiefs, they clearly have their backs up against the wall because of that tough start. But the Bucs are in that same position. You can just feel the intensity of this game today. Usually a game week 9 like this doesn't have the absolute intensity. We've seen injured guys. We've seen guys flying around, big plays all over the place. Clearly both these teams are in a must-win situation today.
John Gruden looking on. Larry Johnson in the game for Priest Holmes in the I formation. Here's Johnson trying to get in. Does he? Yeah. No, he doesn't. His knee was down prior to crossing the goal line. Brooks with the tackle.
And let's check this out. We'll be able to see. Watch when Larry Johnson's knee hit. Strings it out. Let's see. Knee down. There's the ball. Great call by the officials right on top of it.
Second down and goal at the 1. Johnson remains in the game. Straight ahead. And he doesn't get in. He does not get in.
Stopped short of the goal line.
Boy, and Larry
John Howell with a push.
And Larry Johnson has to start delivering the blow down there. And you see Priest Holmes.
He must be hurt.
On the sideline.
Priest must be hurt.
Boy, Larry Johnson, don't let the defenders take the blow to you. You got to keep those legs moving. Initially stopped right there. Turn those legs. He gets the shot right here and gets shoved right down inside by John Howell.
So here we go. Third down and goal at the 1. Johnson's still in there. Play action. Green scrambling. Back of the end zone. Touchdown done. Tony Gonzalez was the decoy.
Absolutely. Get a couple guys go with Gonzalez, sneak your second tight end out into the end zone, and that's clearly not a point of focus for defense. And let's watch Jason Dunn. You see him out here. He's blocking initially. Great job of selling the run. Linebackers flow, safeties flow, and then he just sneaks right out into the vacated spot by the linebackers. Trent Green sees him and puts it right on the money.
Third touchdown for Green today. Extra point is good. 2 minutes and 13 seconds remaining in the third quarter. And we've got a 31-28 game. Wow. Trent Green.
Boy, and you know what's amazing, Gus? There are actually two things. That Tampa Bay came out with the shootout mindset, and the fact that Kansas City's been able to pull this off without a majority of Priest Holmes. I mean, he had 45 yards going into this last series on 15 rushes. That isn't exactly a huge day for the Priest.
So Dunn with his third receiving touchdown of the year, and Trent Green is already over 300 yards, and you see the coaches talking to Priest Holmes.
Boy, and you know what? Priest was beat up coming into this game, and he had a hip pointer, and he had shots all over his body that he'd been taking. He's just a man's man out there, and you know, if there's any way that he can be on the field, he will be.
So Trent Green, 15 300-yard games in his career. That's most in team history. Tied with Bill Kenny. Lynn Dawson with 9, and Elvis had 7. And that's in the history of the great Kansas City Chiefs. What a career it's been for Trent Green. Came so close in St. Louis. Injured himself during the preseason. Ended up being the odd man out. Now he's in Kansas City, playing like an all-star. And don't forget, the 2-hour premiere of The Amazing Race takes place Tuesday, November 16th, 9/8 Central on CBS. That's The Amazing Race, when 11 new teams journey around the world. Gotta see what happens along the way.
78-yard touchdown run early in the third quarter is officially the longest run.
Well, if you're the Tampa Bay Bucks, you got to stick to the air, right? Make sure you're protected against that blitz, and if you're the Chiefs defense, you got to start figuring out a way to get pressure on Brian Griese.
First down and 10 at the 20 for Brian Griese. Here's the pitch. Pittman with a blocker. And Pittman is wrestled down at the 25. Kawika Mitchell just grabbing him after 5-yard pickup. But we talked to Michael Pittman on Friday out at the Bucks facility. And you take a listen to this regular speed.
And Gus, I'm impressed with Michael Pittman. This is the first time I've seen him in person, seen him on film, and tough runner. And clearly the Bucks happy to have him back and in the flow.
Here's Pittman again. And Pittman gets positive yards up to the 32. And as I mentioned, it was interesting to talk to Pittman the other day at the Bucks training facility. Here's a guy that is in love with working out and lifting weights as he picks up his second straight 100-yard game. He told me, Brent, that he bench presses 465 pounds as a max. And Michael Pittman is 6 feet tall.
That's a ton of weight.
That's a lot of, and you believe him.
And you can see the strength inside, and I bet he squats a heck of a lot as well because he's got strong legs, clearly delivering the blow, running over defenders as he goes.
6 career 100-yard games now for Pittman.
Boy, watch Michael Clayton.
Inside, incomplete, flag on the play. Fujita may be called for illegal contact. Dilger, the intended receiver.
And Gus, they had single coverage down below, no safety cheating towards Michael Clayton's side.
Pass interference. Defense number 51. Penalized at the spot of the foul. And a first down.
And you see the replay, everybody running slants, contact before the ball's delivered. And you know, it's interesting just going through this Chiefs defense. We talked about coming into the game how their rush defense had improved, but Michael Pittman and the Tampa Bay offensive line has been carving them up.
Both teams heavily penalized. Play action, Griese again. Looking, and it's caught between 2 defenders. I think that's Dilger in traffic. It is. Caber with the tackle after a 5-yard pickup. 30 seconds remaining in the third quarter. 31-28.
And how about Brian Griese?
Man, I'm just so happy for this young man. We saw him a few years ago in Denver, and tell you what, the Brian Griese that we saw a few years ago in Denver and the one we saw on Friday is just a totally different human being. He looks calm and relaxed and positive and confident. He was the antithesis of that a few years back. That's the end of the third quarter with the score 31-28 Kansas City. We'll return to Raymond James Stadium after this message.
Greg Norman hosts the world's top golfers as they go on the attack at the Franklin Templeton Shootout next weekend on CBS. Stay out of the water!
Join country music superstars, the CMA Awards, Tuesday, live on CBS.
If the cool, refreshed styling of the 2005 Ford Escape wasn't enough to make you do a double take, check out this limited time offer from the experts at your Northland Ford dealer. Right now, get $2,000 cash back on a loaded Escape, lowering your lease payment to just $199 a month with $36.85 due at signing. Ford Escape is the best-selling SUV in its class, and it comes complete with four-wheel drive, a powerful V6, four-wheel independent suspension, plus power windows and locks, all for just $199 a month. So ask the experts about Escape. See your Northland Ford dealer today.
Since 1927, our customers have trusted American Family Insurance because they know we'll be there for them when they need it most. Marty Allen is more than just your agent. He's your friend. A family insurance expert, Marty is someone who will listen to your individual needs and provide the coverage that's right for you. When you need a friend to help with your insurance needs, contact Marty Allen. American Family Insurance. All your protection under one roof.
American Family Insurance.
On the next, Everybody Loves Raymond.
Look at all this stuff. There's a clock radio, a DVD player, a microwave oven, another microwave oven.
Ray's trying to bring Frank and Marie into the 21st century.
Dad, you want a pot roast? You can have it in 15 minutes with this.
I can get it in 10 with this.
Automatic garage door opener. You don't got to break your back lifting the door.
Don't miss the laughs on the next Everybody Loves
Sunday
Raymond.
Sunday at 10:35 on KIMT News Channel 3. Watch KIMT News Channel 3 Weekend Edition.
Back a look at the scoring by quarters. Both teams lighting it up in the second quarter. Michael Pittman running outside. Pittman, lowers his shoulder and delivers a lick at the 40-yard line. He's not running out of bounds.
No, he's not.
Jerome Woods with the tackle.
I like this young man. He's getting his chance to get his life back in order and make an impact on the field. And look at this guy. You see him throw that bow? He could have easily just stepped out of bounds and said, okay, no way. I'm hunting defenders.
I guess Michael says, I'm not lifting all those weights for nothing.
That's right. I'm not going to lift 465 to step out of bounds.
First down and 10 at the 40. Griese. Over the middle, Jurevicius with the grab. Jurevicius smacking Kansas City. He just smacked Derek Warfield. And right now, the Buccaneers are trying to chump Kansas City.
Boy, I'm telling you, the one thing that I notice about Kansas City is their defensive backs are just too tentative. You can't let a receiver do this to you. Pound the guy. What are you trying to push him out of bounds? Joe Jurevicius just pounding you down the field, makes the catch, tackle him. And that's one soft spot on this Kansas City team, and people continue to focus on it.
23-yard gain for Jurevicius. First and 10 at the Chiefs 17. Griese underneath, and this ball caught once again. Charles Lee, who's hog-tied by Caver, but he picks up 7.
And Caver with a nice tackle against Charles Lee, because there is some room to run inside. The old pull the jersey down trick. Those always look better than they actually they are. The collar tackle.
So a look at the total yards, 390 for Tampa. These teams even. Second and 3 at the 10. Handoff. And it's Pittman. This time he goes backwards. Freddie Jones in on the play.
Well, we've seen
Jared, that Ernest Graham running the football.
And we've seen Jared Allen from the defensive line of the Chiefs make a few big penetrations today. He's been in the backfield more than a few times, but this whole defense for the Kansas City Chiefs clearly needs to get in sync, and it hasn't happened today.
3rd down, 2 at the 9. Bucks 2 of 6 on 3rd down conversions. And Greasy calls a timeout. 2 timeouts remaining for the Buccaneers. 31-28 KC.
Think of it as an open-air roadster that can seat 7. The Cadillac SRX Performance SUV. Car and Driver's 2004 Best Luxury SUV. Cadillac, breakthrough.
Is it possible to actually get Wendy's big, delicious, all-white meat, home-style chicken strips home? Yes, but why delay the joy? Wendy's, it's better here.
What's going on? We don't know how many converters we have in stock. We don't know where our trucks are, and no one knows where Mackler is.
6,000 converters? Trucks are at I-4, exit 9. Mackler, where are you?
In the airport.
To prove Aspen Edge has more taste than Michelob Ultra, we asked beer drinkers for their thoughts. Okay, guys, take a small sip and... sir, you want to bring that glass back? Sir?
Beer drinkers agree. Aspen Edge has more taste than Michelob Ultra.
It's happening, isn't it?
Worse than anything we've ever seen. 3 million people about to get clobbered. Now we got no way to warn them?
You guys have got to go.
What about you?
I can't leave him. Hang on, we're going to get some help.
What do we ever do to Mother Nature?
Looking for free fantasy football? You can experience all the thrilling action and intense competition with NFL fourth quarter fantasy. Sign up today by clicking on fantasy at cbssportsline.com. Greasy with the play fake to the sideline, and that ball caught by Cook. Jameel Cook is having such a solid game.
Yes, he is. Come up with some big catches, and you know, it's so impressive, the play before where Brian Greasy called timeout. He had his wide receiver in motion and he called timeout. Most guys in that situation just say, hey, I'm running the play, we'll see what happens. What a great sign of maturity. Call the timeout, go to the sideline, get the play that's going to get the first down.
First down and goal. 32 passes for Tampa. At the 3-yard line. Here's Pittman bouncing it outside. Touchdown! Michael Pittman. His third rushing touchdown of the game.
I'll tell you, the Chiefs are going to have to figure out a way to start tackling. Watch Michael Pittman gets a block outside and just dives for that big cone, the pylon, and got to be so impressed, Gus, with Michael Pittman and his efforts out there on the field today.
High snap back, Gramatica hooks it. Uh-oh.
Boy, 4 instead of 3, Gus.
Wow.
3 instead of 4 is huge.
You can only shake your head to that one, but Michael Pittman with his third rushing touchdown, 34-31.
What's this? That's a blade. Blade? What's a blade? Blade's a server. This is a server? That's a server. Where's all the stuff? Stuff? What stuff? The plugs, the cables, you know. In the blade center? Blade center. Where you put the blades? What's a blade? You're messing with me, right?
Highly simplified, affordable IBM eServer Blade Center with Intel Xeon processors.
I want you to steal me that diamond. I'm not a criminal. Right. Neither am I.
This Friday,
This is the next setup, isn't it?
everyone wants a piece.
Cute little rock. I'm just here to look.
No one can be trusted,
Sophie, nice gun.
and only one of them can win.
But it's not who you think it is. I don't like those twist endings.
After the Sunset, directed by Brett Ratner, rated PG-13, starts Friday.
Introducing the new Cadillac STS. Party's over. Breakthrough.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by IBM, the official on-demand business consultants for the NFL, McDonald's, and by Cadillac and the all-new STS. Breakthrough.
So mark this down. Martin Gramatica misses only the second extra point of his career at the 11:50 mark of the fourth quarter. And instead of a 4-point game, we've got a 3-point game. He was 168 of 169 coming into this game. Hall at the 10. And Dante Hall. Under reserve. Will Allen could be the biggest play of the game and missed extra point. Dave Moore, the long snapper, snapping it high. Josh Bidwell tried his best, but Gramatica hooks it, and we've got a 3-point game.
The half-ton Silverado has better resale value than Ford or Dodge. That's why it's the right truck. The official truck of an American revolution.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. This is where I get my Dave magic going. Shh. Okay. One Best Buy buck. You get in that zone and you really start to feel this mantra, this really good kind of...
One Best Buy buck.
Best Buy buck.
I won a pony, David.
All right. That's cool. I mean,
No, David, I didn't win a pony. I won one Best Buy buck.
The Monopoly Best Chance game at McDonald's is back. Get large fries or chicken selects and you win. Guaranteed.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. I'm loving it.
Oh, David. You should be happy. You got magic, David.
A 30-foot wall of water
This thing's gonna be a monster.
is headed for Miami.
The wave's not the only thing about to hit them.
It's an episode so big,
Look at that horizon.
That is not the horizon.
it can't fit into just 1 hour.
Close your eyes.
A 90-minute CSI Miami at a special time, CBS Monday.
34-31. Here's the news on Priest Holmes. He has a knee contusion. His return is questionable, so Larry Johnson on your left will get the bulk of the carries. 1st and 10. Play action. Green over the middle. And it's caught by Johnson, who's wrapped up at the 36, a 3-yard pickup. Derek Brooks brings him down.
Boy, Gus, a huge difference in the game without a Priest Holmes in there. All of a sudden, your play action isn't as effective. Bucs won't be jumping that. They're going to be thinking pass, and I think right now the Kansas City Chiefs would be thinking that if we're going to win this game, we're going to have to do it through the air.
2nd and 7. Drop play. Johnson with running room, and he picks up the 1st down. Chiefs keeping him off balance. Gain of 11. Brooks with the tackle once again. Al Saunders, the offensive coordinator, has been having a spectacular few weeks.
A nice little draw action here, and you see the hole created inside right there, and Larry Johnson does a nice job of bouncing it out, comes back around. And clearly Tampa Bay, they're not going to be focused on Larry Johnson, so if the Chiefs want to keep trying him, maybe get him out in the passing game as well, Bucs are thinking the wideouts and Tony Gonzalez right now.
First down and 10. Morton with the grab, and Morton is ridden out of bounds after picking up 5. Brian Kelly pushing him out of bounds. And look at the total yards, folks. They are really racking it up. 408 to 400. And this looks like one of those games where the last team to have the ball is going to win.
Well, it's surprising from the standpoint of Kansas City. Everybody knew that their offense was great, but they thought that they'd hit a speed bump this week against Tampa Bay. And how about Tampa Bay's offense coming on strong?
2nd and 5 at the 48. Draw play. Johnson again. And Johnson takes it to the 44, picks up 3 yards. Darby with the tackle.
You know, Gus, we saw that the play before to the Larry Johnson play where Johnny Morton caught that quick little hitch route. And I'm just wondering, I know these Bucs defensive backs really like to jump routes. And I'm wondering if we're not going to see a double move route, maybe a little pump fake from Trent Green and see him go up top here before this game's over.
Watch Chris Horn at the bottom of your screen at receiver. In motion now. Green throws it out. That's Johnson. And Johnson out of bounds at the 37. Larry Johnson.
Larry Johnson had a little bit more speed, I think, than Jermaine Phillips, the safety, thought. It looked like he had the angle, but Johnson just turned the corner, got the first down.
Last 3 games for the Chiefs, 141 points, 1,543 total yards.
Jeez.
Now Johnson breaks it back and is taken down. 2-yard pickup. Gold with the tackle. And Larry Johnson, interesting story, 2nd year out of Penn State. He was complaining earlier during the year about playing time, and I find that ironic, especially when you're backing up one of the greats in the league like Priest Holmes. And Coach Vermeil, I think, issued some kind of statement about Pampers or diapers.
No,
or
it's
something.
It's time to take off the diapers, and that's, hey, a young guy that hasn't played and whining. Hey, it's the NFL. You got to be tough in this league. It looks like Larry's up to pull-ups now.
Here's Green. Throws, and it's gone out of bounds. Eddie Kennison running a nice route, and Green has been so tough in the pocket, waiting to the last possible second to throw the football.
Yeah, and he's just been so methodical and just realizing, you see him looking left, coming back right, going through his progressions, just about to get hit and lays it out there. And Kennison, nice job of coming back for the ball. But both these quarterbacks have stood strong in the pocket all day. But Trent Green, you just have to be so impressed with his throws in the face of pressure.
1st and 10 at the 23-yard line. Johnson back in the game. They fake the draw. Green running and incomplete. Flag on the play.
And you know what, Gus? I don't know. I think he's out of that tackle box. He's out of the pocket, and that's what the officials are discussing right now. Was he outside the tackle? If he was, he can throw it away if he attempts to throw it up towards the line of scrimmage.
Intentional grounding. Offense number 10.
Boy, and I think he was trying to get it.
And a loss of down.
He might have been trying to get it to Larry Johnson. Here's the tackle right here. Oh, no, I think he's out. I think he's out of the tackle box. And we see that scribble line that moved. But he was on the right hash. And so he's outside the left hash. And it's a judgment call by the officiating crew. But Trent Green thought he had gotten beyond the tackle box, the quarterback pocket. And that's a tough grounding call at this point.
So instead of having the ball at 23, Chiefs have it at the 35. 2nd and 22. Green Dumps it off. Johnson. And Johnson picks up 12 yards. Ian Gold with the tackle. Here's an opportunity for Johnson. He complained earlier during the season about playing time. Now with Priest Holmes on the sideline because of a knee contusion, this second-year player is going to get plenty of opportunity. Goes out of the game right now, though. Richardson in the backfield, along with Gonzalez. 3rd and 10 of the 23. Remember that missed extra point. Green going up top, incomplete, flag.
Boy, I think they're going to get a hold, and they're going to call Jason Dunn, it looks like, the big tight end.
Holding. Defense number 90. 5-yard penalty.
Wow.
And a first down.
Dwayne White
going the other way. And John Gruden can't believe it. How you calling that? That's what he's saying. Hey! Boy, you know what, Gus, I didn't see it. I just saw it thrown in the vicinity. And I know Jason Dunn looked really frustrated. Wow, big first down.
At the 18. Johnson running outside, can't turn the corner, and he is held up and taken down by Rondé Barber. A loss of 4.
Rondé Barber.
Terrific play by the Tampa defense. Barber stringing the play out and just hanging on for dear life until his teammates came to help him. That brings up 2nd down and 14 at the 22. Approaching the 6-minute mark of the 4th quarter. Here comes a blitz. Picked up. Green steps up in the end zone. Picked off! Phillips! 3rd turnover of the day for the Chiefs. And the Kansas City Chiefs shoot themselves in the foot.
Boy, and I don't know if Trent Green wasn't thinking that Tony Gonzalez was going to come further in. Looked like he threw it where he wanted to.
2 doors, 4 doors, room for 5, room for 9, off-road, OnStar. Nobody offers more trucks than Chevy. These trucks are the real deal. And they play for the same team. That's why I drive Chevy. The right trucks. See your local Chevy dealer now.
Hey, Howie, what are you doing? Sleeping? Wake up. Hey, Buccaneers, get up. Hey, nice golf game today, little buddy.
Somebody, please stop the pain. He's killing my minutes. I needed a wireless plan.
With Radio Shack's pain-free wireless sale, you get great deals on plans and phones, like this Sprint PCS Vision Picture Phone, PM8200 by Sanyo, just $99.99 after instant rebates with a 2-year agreement.
Can you transfer all the numbers except that one?
Radio Shack.
Sheldon, I'd love you, even if you didn't have the trust fund.
Rich.
And I am so sure our love will last forever. I ripped up that silly prenup.
But not smooth.
Remember when you said you'd love me even if I didn't have the trust fund? Those words meant so much to me.
Smooth.
Remember when you said you ripped up that silly prenup? Those words meant so much to me.
But not rich. Michelob Amber Bach. Rich and smooth.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Radio Shack. You've got questions, we've got answers. And by Michelob Amber Bach, rich and smooth.
34-31 Tampa with the lead and the ball after the Phillips interception. Looks like there was some miscommunication on the part of the Chiefs offense. 1st and 10 at the 20. Greasy, Dilger wide open. Dilger at the 40. And there's that bootleg again. He picks up 24. Woods with the tackle.
And Gus, let's go back to that interception. You're going to see Derek Brooks actually get a piece of Trent Green's arm, which actually changes the flight of the ball. You're going to actually see Trent Green. Look at his line of sight. It's going that way. He's looking at Tony Gonzalez. Watch where the ball ends up going. It ends up going straight down the middle of the field. Derek Brooks at the last second nails him, and you see the ball take the trajectory this way instead of that way.
1st and 10 at the 44. Pittman on the pitch. And Pittman gets to the 46, maybe the 47. Eric Hicks with the tackle, but right now, with 4:55 to go in the 4th quarter, each team with 2 timeouts left, the Kansas City defense has to step up and get a stop. Trent Green, 2 interceptions in his last 12 pass attempts.
Yeah, and you know, we thought there was initially some miscommunication, but clearly it was Derek Brooks coming through and getting that arm and misdirecting that ball.
2nd down and 7 at the 47. Greasy, hit as he throws, and it's incomplete. A lot of pressure being applied by the Chiefs.
And the Chiefs are coming, Gus, with the blitz, and you said they've got to make a stop. Well, that's the best way to try to get in there and get pressure on Brian Greasy. Got to bring some extra men on the blitz. And now your corners have to hold up. You've got to actually be physical at the line of scrimmage. Don't give too much cushion here on 3rd and 7. You've got to misdirect the wide receivers, and you got to hope that you get pressure on Brian Greasy's face.
The 46-yard line is where the Bucs need to go. They've been successful with that little bootleg action. Here comes a corner blitz. Greasy with time, and he's sacked. Terrific. Fujita brings him down, the 1st sack of the day by the Chiefs.
Boy, and John Gruden saying, did you see how open Charles Lee was? Running a little bit of a scissors route is what they call it in the West Coast offense. Outside, these 2 guys are going to crisscross. Watch Charles Lee. His man's going to get picked. He's going to come wide open. And you talk about the pressure. Looked like Greasy was looking there initially, and then the pressure in his face. Watch Charles Lee come wide open. There's nobody there. He's got his arms up too late.
So Tampa will punt it away. Bidwell at the 25. Dante Hall stands at the 14. Hall takes a step up, and he allows it to take a bounce at the 19-yard line. 42-yard punt. The MetLife Blimp Snoopy 1 is providing today's aerial coverage of the game below. The blimp travels over 60,000 miles a year to cover sporting events and television specials throughout the United States. Look for the MetLife Blimps, Snoopy 1 and Snoopy 2, as they team up with CBS later this year. 3:42 to go in the 4th quarter. Chiefs, the most dangerous offense currently in the NFL, down by 3.
And still no Priest Holmes.
And no Priest Holmes. And that still makes you think about that missed extra point by Martin Gramatica at the 11-minute mark of the quarter. Over the middle. Morton with the grab. Taken down quickly. Rondé Barber doesn't let him get out of his sight. And Morton and Barber with some words.
Yeah, now's not the time to have words. And Johnny Morton, just get back to the huddle, you know. Time's ticking away. You don't need to take an extra 10 seconds off the clock by trash talking right now. Your team needs a score. And guess one of the advantages now, no Priest Holmes in the game. Linebackers for the Bucs can take deeper drops. They don't have to worry about Priest. Safeties can focus more on receivers instead of coming up on the run.
2nd and 7. Johnson with running room, dives forward, crosses the 25 to the 26, a 4-yard gain. Greg Spires with the trip up, but that's the difference between Johnson and Holmes, because Priest Holmes breaks that tackle.
Absolutely, and that's the difference. And Gus, right now, 2 minutes, 40 seconds left. I think this is 4 down territory. for this Kansas City offense. Only 2 timeouts left, and I don't know if I'd punt it away and put it in the hands of your defense now. You got to be thinking 2 plays to get these 4 yards.
3rd down. They need 3. Johnson with the catch and the 1st down, and he's knocked out of bounds at the 40. Flag on the play late. This may be a late hit, 15-yard gain. Will Allen knocks him out of bounds.
Boy, you know, John Gruden is screaming on the sidelines. He's yelling for a pick. He thought his player got picked. And Larry Johnson, Gus, actually doing a nice job to hang on to that ball. Eddie Kennison got right in his way.
5 yards only. Defense number 23. Penalized 5 yards to the end of the run.
Jermaine Phillips.
1st down.
Jermaine Phillips called for the 5-yard face mask. And look at the penalties today. Both teams closing in on 100 yards.
And very aggressive plays. And there's the face mask, and you know, when the head turns like that, and you get the hand off quickly, they'll only call you for 5.
1st down and 10 at the 46. Here comes a blitz. Johnson breaks it back and gets close to midfield. Gains 3 yards.
And partner, you call that missed extra point. Where do the Chiefs want to get? They want to get probably inside the 35. You know, in a perfect world, down by the 30 to put it into makeable position.
Green again, wide open, and that's Kennison, who's dropped at the 45-yard line. And that'll take us to the 2-minute warning. A 6-yard pickup. Kelly with the tackle. 1:57 to go. 34-31.
At 7:42 a.m., critical samples arrived at this pharmaceutical lab. At 9:34 a.m., a trade proposal arrived at the National Congress in Brazil. At 10:27 a.m., a birthday present arrived, as promised. Who made all of these things happen? The company that delivers more packages on time than anyone. UPS. What can Brown do for you?
Hey, honey, what are you doing here?
Jill called.
Who's watching the kids?
They're at my mom's.
Everyone could use more Fridays. So try our new Jack Grill hand-cut flat iron steak and the new Jack Grill burger. Only at Fridays.
Introducing Gillette M3 Power. Turn on Gillette's first battery-powered shaving system. Micropulses raise the hair so you shave closer. Feel the power of the world's best shave. New M3 Power from Gillette.
Silverado has better resale value than Ford or Dodge. That's why it's the right truck. The official truck of an American revolution.
Thursday, you've never seen a CSI like her.
Don't worry, I'm wearing underwear, as far as you know.
Or a crime like this.
This was a joke. You see us laughing?
A new CSI then. You're a dead man. Onion without a trace after CSI Thursday.
Tonight on CBS begins with America's #1 news magazine, 60 Minutes, followed by a new episode of Cold Case. Then join Larry Hagman, Linda Gray, Patrick Duffy, and Victoria Principal for the Dallas reunion. Return to South Fork. It's all here tonight on CBS, America's most watched network. 34-31. Tampa with the lead. Chiefs faced with a 3rd down and 1 at the Tampa 45. Here's the handoff. Johnson straight ahead and gets the 1st down.
Stopped by Greg Spires.
Greg Spires brings him down. A missed extra point allows the Chiefs to only be down by 3. As Martin Gramatica missed it at the 11:50 mark of the 4th quarter. So with that in mind, Brent, where does Lawrence Tynes
Well,
need to be to attempt a field goal.
He was kicking him in pregame from 52 yards. Clearly had the leg, the distance. It's all about getting it between the pipes.
So he needs to get to about the 32.
Actually, you know, he can kick it from probably the 35, 36, 37 if they needed to. Clearly, that makes it a pretty darn long kick, and he has to drive it and keep it lower, and it gives you an opportunity to block it. So you'd like to get at least down to the 30 to give him a chance to kick a makeable field goal.
First down and 10 at the 43. Recovered by the Chiefs. That's Rondé Barber stripping the football. Barber with 15 career sacks. He's excellent on the blitz for the Buccaneers.
Boy, and Trent Green was looking for his big tight end down the seam, and he had him. What a big strip. And how about Will Shields? That could be the most important fumble recovery of the season.
Green down the seam again. Make it the sideline, incomplete. Kennison, the intended receiver, and Simeon Rice drilling Trent Green. That'll make it 3rd and 17.
And let's go back to this last play, and he's looking for Tony Gonzalez, and you see miscommunication. There's the seam. Here's Tony Gonzalez looking pretty darn wide open, and that's where Trent Green was going before he got drilled. A great alertness by Will Shields to recover that ball and keep the Chiefs team in the game.
3rd down and 17 at midfield. They need to go to the 32.5 for a first down. Green steps up in the pocket, pumps, lets it go, and it's stripped again. This time, Simeon Rice knocks the football loose, and the Buccaneers recover.
We're inside 2 minutes. That's going to be reviewed upstairs, and I think that, at least from up here, I haven't seen the replay, I thought Trent Green's arm was going forward. We know the tuck rule. Watch it when he gets out. Now he's not a running back till he crosses the line of scrimmage. Yeah, that's going to be an incomplete pass. He was throwing the ball, arm going forward, not across the line of scrimmage. So the Chiefs will get the ball back after this is reviewed and have a 4th down. You know, one of the problems is they've already moved the change. I hope they kept the marks. They might have to go back and review everything because they already have the ball going the other way. The chain gang has already moved. A little premature here in Tampa.
So now this play will be reviewed inside 2 minutes.
The play is being reviewed.
Yep. And once his arm starts forward, Gus, and he's not a running back, remember, till he crosses that line of scrimmage. And so he clearly, at that point, is still a thrower, and that arm starts forward and gets knocked out. It's an incomplete pass.
Looked to me like that arm was going forward.
Yeah, no, it definitely is.
Simeon Rice hasn't had a sack today, but he's caused a lot of problems in the Kansas City backfield.
The play is being reviewed to confirm that the ball was fumbled and was not a forward pass.
Here's Simeon.
Trent Green clearly trying to throw that ball.
And even if this play is overturned, the Chiefs will be faced with a 3rd down, make it a 4th down and 17. The ball should be spotted at midfield.
That's right. They're just going to have to change all the yard markers again.
And they'll have to get to about the 32.5-yard line.
So actually, benefit right now for the Chiefs that it was ruled a fumble because they get all the time on the sideline and in the huddle to discuss what their next offensive play is going to be. Now, I'd have the whole Chief offense together, huddled up on the sideline. It's going to be 4th down. I think they're going to get a chance to go back out there. We got the offense spread all over the place. They need to huddle them up on the sideline. Where is everybody?
I think they know when to come back into the game.
Yeah, well, to be able to have the whole team on the sideline discussing what we want from this next play, how many yards, we're going to have to pick up 17 yards, what we're going to need from the offensive line to block, and we're going to have check this and check that. Somebody's going to have blitz protection, backs here, backs there. I'd just take this extended time to huddle up the offense.
Well, you got you got a couple of the offensive linemen on the field right now. Will Shields is out there on the field, as well as Casey Wegman.
It's a free huddle up. You guys, going back to the rule, once that quarterback's arm starts forward, it is an incomplete pass, even if it gets knocked out. We know that from the tuck rule. Famous Tom Brady play against the Raiders in the AFC Championship game a couple years ago.
After reviewing the play, the quarterback's arm was going forward, and the ball came out. Therefore, it is a forward pass. It is an incomplete pass. Please reset the game clock to 1:15. Thank you. Makes it 4th down.
The game appeared to be over after Raiders quarterback Charles Woodson blindsided Patriots quarterback Tom Brady. Greg Biekert recovered the apparent fumble with the Raiders ahead 13-10 with just 1:43 left. That was the big tuck rule play. But right now, we're faced with a 4th and 17 at midfield for the Chiefs. Johnson goes to the top of your screen at wide receiver. Dante Hall is at the bottom. Tony Gonzalez is in the slot at the bottom. Here's Green, empty backfield. Green in trouble, and he goes down, and that'll do it. Dwayne White with the sack.
Wow. And Gus, 3-man rush. And you know what? That is exactly why I say you use that extra time, huddle up the offense. Everybody get on the same page. Everybody was everywhere. 3-man rush. No way those guys get to your quarterback. Just flat out, no way. And you can see, Gus, the Kansas City offense just changed completely, drastically, with the Priest Holmes on the sideline.
Kansas City with 1 timeout remaining. Brian Griese takes a knee, and what a day it's been for Griese. 22 of 34, 296. Griese has found a home in Tampa.
Well, the Tampa Bay Bucs said that they wanted to go toe-to-toe, go into the shootout, and they came out on top.
Tim Brown's streak will come to an end. 179 straight games with the catch. So both Tim Brown and Jerry Rice's consecutive game streaks of at least 1 catch all come to an end this year.
We've done both of those games.
Were bad luck.
Where's Marshall Faulk? He's next on the list. We got a St. Louis game coming up.
John Gruden told us on Friday, we're not afraid of the Kansas City Chiefs at all. They've won 2 of 3. We've won 2 of 3. They've got the great offense. We've got the world famous, and I'm quoting him, the world famous Tampa 2 defense. And we're going to run the football and play our game.
Well, all the above, but you fell for the old run the football thing.
Yeah, I did.
That didn't happen. They threw the football.
Well, actually, they did run the football.
Oh, they did. Michael Pittman did run.
128 yards.
That's not too bad for not running a whole lot.
Boom.
They attacked that secondary, though. You got to give the Bucs credit.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers pull off a big one. 34-31. Don't forget, game 2 coming up. Some of you will see New England at St. Louis, others Houston at Denver. 34-31. Tampa goes on to win it, and they somehow managed to slow down the Chiefs. So for Brent Jones, I'm Gus Johnson saying so long from Raymond James Stadium. 34-31 the final. You've been watching the National Football League on CBS Sports.
Monday, when Bill has a health scare.
The way he eats, he's more pizza than husband.
His wife feeds him some tough love.
You're full of baloney, and I mean that literally.
Still standing. Then Doug Flutie fills in for Tony on his show.
Aren't you afraid that your replacement will be better than you?
Not until now. Listen up. Next, when these two sisters battle, no one is safe. Cameron Manheim guest stars.
Have one of these? Eat it. Drop it.
2.5 Men at a special time. All new comedy, CBS Monday. And Dave's got Tom Hanks on a new late show.
Tuesday. Country music's biggest night is coming to CBS. The Country Music Association Awards.
More performances than any award show.
Join superstars Tim McGraw, Gretchen Wilson, Faith Hill, Rascal Flatts, Toby Keith, Big and Rich, Keith Urban, Kenny Chesney.
Yours truly, Brooks and Dunn, and Shania Twain.
Plus many more superstars. The CMA Awards, Tuesday, live on CBS.